This meeting is being recorded.
You're all set.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Heath, Chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals. With me, we have Dan Greenberg, member, Anna Klimas, member, as well as Nicole Salvo, Executive Assistant, and the new Community Economic Development Director, Bud Ruley. And we have Steve Solari, the Building Commissioner. The Zoning Board of Appeals, this meeting, as you can see, is going to be held remote. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort is going to be made to ensure the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time. This meeting's being recorded, and within 48 hours, we will post a link of the recording on the town's website and/or the town's social media. At this time, everybody's mic is muted. The board's mics will be unmuted throughout the whole meeting. And as items appear on the agenda, this project representatives' mics will be unmuted. The project is a public hearing and allows for public comment. We ask that you use the chat feature to ask your questions by listing your name and address and your question. Chairman will recognize all questions in order. You can also use the raise my hand feature in the participant menu, and you'll be unmuted when the chairman recognizes you. Again, please state your name and address before asking your question. If you're on the phone, you can dial *9 to use the raise your hand. So now we will come to order. We have two matters in front of us tonight. One is a request for an extension regarding a variance that was issued a while ago, January 12th, 2022. That's at 31 Perkins Street. It's the representatives for the Perkins Street available? Do we have anybody in the waiting room for 31 Perkins Street? It's Store Space LLC.
There's no one in the waiting room.
I don't see anyone in the waiting room, and I don't see anything in the chat. So if
Okay, so then we will move on. We have the next item on the agenda is 189 Pine Street. There's a request under 8.2 of the bylaws in regards to a retreat lot. Is the participant for 187 with us? Wasn't that Bud? Bud, you still there?
he is here. He's on mute at the moment. Bud, you can unmute yourself.
I can. I don't.
I think he should be able to unmute himself.
Oh.
You should. There you go, Bud.
Okay.
All that technology, Bud, it's tough.
Well, it's a little tiny thing up the top that tells you what to hit. But I found it. Thank you very much. Is it possible to share my screen?
Yes. You could just get rid of the Perkins Street document. Now you should be able to go in and share your screen.
Did that work?
Yep.
Okay. Are you seeing just the plan or everything else on here?
Just the plan.
Just the plan
right now.
Okay, that's fine.
That's about all you need.
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward and simple. I'm applying under 8.2, the retreat lots in Bridgewater. The property that you see here, lots 1, 2, and the retreat lot, which is parcel A, were all owned by the Ellis family for the last 50 years. It has not been subdivided. It did go to the planning board, created these 2 Form A lots, and left this one parcel, which we're here tonight about. Steve Solari issued a letter that basically went over the guidelines. I have it on my screen, but I can read it to you. It's pretty simple. Parcel under a retreat lot must have at least 150,000 square feet. We have 151. Has to be at least 40,000 square feet of uplands. The entire parcel is upland, so that one's not in question. Needs a minimum of 30 feet of frontage. It has 40 feet right here. There's no curb cuts within 25 feet. He shows the 25 foot to each side from the driveway, that there's no curb cuts there. We're not using a common driveway, so that doesn't apply. And we did put a note that in the event that the driveway ends up being over 300 feet, that it would include a hammerhead. The distance from here to here is 210. So if the house is somewhere within 90 feet of this, it would be under the 300. But should a homeowner someday instead decide to be out here or over here, then they would be required to have a hammerhead. But that would be shown on the site plan presented to Steve at the time of the building permit application, just to make sure that was in compliance. But the notes put on the plan, and it certainly would be a condition of a special permit. And that's about it. I'll answer any questions you might have, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Now, as you said, Bud, it meets all the requirements under 8.2 for a retreat lot. Does Dan or Anna, if you have any questions related to it?
I'm sorry, I think I missed it. What is the width in linear feet of the lot?
Well, it's got to be 30. It has to be 30 feet wide throughout. And as
Right.
you can see up front, it's got 40 feet. So it's 40 feet at its narrowest, and it's out at what, 200?
400.
400 in
okay.
the back. Yep.
Yeah,
And
the
that
writing's
maintains
really
the
small.
40 right here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see the little interim markings.
Yep.
But that maintains the 40 all the way through there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would agree. It looks to me like it satisfies all of those
there it is.
standards for retreat lots. So
If one of the members would like to make a motion,
I can make a motion to approve the request for special permit for 187 Main Street as it pertains to 8.2, the retreat lot, allowing a retreat lot under 8.2, I should say.
second to the motion,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Nicole, do you or is it Bob going to go through the requirements, the filings, the appeals, the period and all that?
I believe Nicole is.
So as far as we'll have a decision together within 10 days. And then whenever the decision is ready, it'll be stamped in, and then there's a 20-day appeal period after that. So, Bud, I'll be in, I'll reach out to you. If it's not this week, it'll be early next week. And I'll let you know when the decision's ready, and we'll move on from there, okay?
Very good. I thank you all for your time this evening.
Have a good night,
Thank
Bud.
you.
You too.
Mr. Chair, do you need a motion to continue the request for extension?
Well, I was just going to ask, so there's nobody out in the waiting room, I'm guessing.
That's correct.
There is a there is a gentleman named
John?
John on there, but I don't know. He might just be a resident observing. So
And there is a Dan Greenberg too, right?
Dan's part of the us now, remember?
Oh, yeah. Just kidding. I was just going through the names. I'm sorry. Going through, sorry. Trying to be
How
helpful.
quickly they forget you, Dan. Come on.
No offense taken, none taken.
Only been a month.
Come on now. Being late, it threw me. I'm off my game. I'm sorry.
All right. If there's nobody here for the extension of the special permit over at 31 Perkins, we can make a motion to continue it.
But do we continue it or do we take no action on it? I don't know, because
it's set to expire tomorrow. So I think if you don't vote now, it misses the opportunity. So
Well, I guess we don't really need them here, correct?
that's your choice. Totally your choice.
Yeah, I don't care. This one was kind of an easy one. I've read through all the proceedings and papers filed with it. based upon, I would just say, you know, based upon everything that's going on in the business world today with COVID and the delays and everything, it's,
Yeah, if I can say something too on that, Brian, is that the company that's they got the special permit for the building is now in the process of looking to see if they can do something different with the building, almost maybe building a whole new one. So that's why I think they're in the process of working with the planning board on other remedies right now. So that's why I think it'd be good to keep to extend it, because it's not like they've dropped it. It's just they're I'm really surprised they're not here, because that's a little bit more professional. But they are in the they are doing other looks at this piece of property.
yeah, because remember the variance that we gave them was strictly for that. So
Right,
that
right.
building is a storage building in the first place. If they want to tear it down, then the whole,
It's a whole new. It's all brand new. But
right.
the original variance was for them to tear the back off and then
Yep.
rebuild it, because remember it's encroaching on the MBTA's property by about 1.5 feet, and they were bringing it back in. So
Correct.
Um,
Yeah, I remember this one. It was,
Yeah.
like I said, it was pretty easy. It wasn't onerous or anything like that.
correct.
I'm actually in favor of granting the extension. Anything, Anna or Dan, any issues, questions? You know, you weren't here, Dan, on this one, so do you know where the building is, Dan?
I do.
Yeah.
I looked at it on a map, yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
what's-
it's, you know, it's been a big
Yeah.
storage now. Half of it's storage. They used to have some baseball stuff in it, karate, all different stuff. It was purchased by a storage company, I think, out of Florida.
Yeah.
And they were going to renovate it. As Steve said, there was an encroachment on the MBTA tracks. They were taking down a portion in the back, and they needed 40 parking spaces. They only had space for 25, and we granted them a 15 space variance for it.
Right.
Again, it's short-term storage, so the people aren't going to be there all the time. So we thought that the 25 was more than adequate. They also presented some studies that they have a lot of these sites where, you know, how long people actually stayed when they came.
Right.
So at the time, it wasn't an issue, and we granted them the variance.
Okay.
Anna, are you good with this one, or do you have anything?
Well, my thought is, I mean, if Steve is saying that they're changing what they're doing, then I don't know. I
They're
have
just
a-
looking into it, because if for them to do a change, it would be a major planning. It basically would go to the planning board next. So they are, I think they're just right now determining how much, or the effect, what they're looking to do. So I just don't think they want to lose what they have, because they do own the building. They did
Right.
buy the building off of Mr. D'Amelia, and it is under their ownership. So that's really all that, you know, we have going right now. It's just that there's been questions that have been asked of me and the town planner on different scenarios with the building.
And again,
I'm just troubled by their lack of professionalism by not even appearing, and
I
us
agree. I
granting
agree.
and us granting an extension of a variance for someone that, I mean, have they withdrawn the request by not appearing, or are they just?
well,
I
they
don't
have
know.
to formally withdraw, but you know, to your point, who's Daniel Bailey III.
And Nicole, you haven't heard anything from them about, I mean, I know the world is upside down and people,
No, I haven't heard anything else.
but if we do not grant the variance, then it expires and then they'd have to re-bring it all again?
Yes.
I,
The only thing, it's a variance for 15 parking space. I hear
Yeah, I
you.
guess,
I'm in
yeah.
with you
It's
100%
minimal,
on it.
yeah.
But if it's strictly for the existing building that's there and what they propose to do. Now, as
Mhm.
Steve said, if they choose to go a different direction and tear down the building and build something new, then the variance is moot.
I guess, yeah.
That's my, I mean, if there was somebody literally, if there was somebody here that said, yeah, we just need an extension, we're thinking of doing this, we would have probably I would have granted it to them. I would have voted in favor, but I'm not swaying either of you. I'm just saying.
Do we have any concerns if we do grant it? Is there any exposure to the town or abutting businesses or?
No,
No, and I guess
Yeah.
if you put
it's a
in,
variance, so it's strictly for those 15 parking spaces for the purpose that they came to us for the variance. They can't use it for anything else. And again, we're talking 15 parking spaces.
Which, not to jump into it, but which since then we have changed our bylaws to storage facilities, which they probably wouldn't need the 15 parking spots based on today's bylaws. That was on the previous bylaws we did. We changed it because basically the town's bylaws had no parking arrangements for storage units or storage buildings. So we were using it as the storage use, which was the one spot per every, I think, 1,000 or 2,000. So we did a bylaw change on that for storage building storage spaces. So I don't even think that I have a feeling that if I was to do the calculations, they might not even need those 15 spaces now. But so that's why I don't think it's detrimental at all, the what they're asking for. It's just like I agree with Anna that they should have been here if you're going to ask for something. I mean,
Especially with it's expiring tomorrow.
yeah, I know.
Nicole, are there different timelines? Like, can we give them an extension on this variance for like a short window or
30 day.
a 30-day versus a
Yeah,
60?
why can't we? We can do the extension period.
We could just arbitrarily.
believe you could select your extension period.
Yeah. If you want, we can do a 30-day extension.
Bob, does that sound accurate to you as well?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest,
Yeah.
that, you give them an extension for 30 days with the expectation that they show up at the next meeting.
And if they don't, it doesn't get extended.
Correct.
I
I mean,
agree.
I'm not trying to,
No,
Well,
Anna, that's
but-
fine. I agree.
and likely if they were here, it wouldn't have been an issue. I just, again, it's 15 parking spaces. I remember thinking about when this was here and it was like, yeah, no big deal. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They put it on the agenda, they should have showed up at least. So would it be more amicable to the board to say we make a motion for a 30-day extension?
I think
I
you
think
should take
that's fair.
points away because the letter was dated December 2020.
Let's not be punitive here. Like it's not my intent, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I just think it's a bad precedent to vote, for people in abstention. So
I think that's fair.
And I can reach out, even tomorrow and ask them to come to the next meeting that aligns with before the 30 days running up, obviously. The question I have is, you have to request an extension 30 days, at least 30 days prior to the
Expiration.
yeah. So if you only extend it 30 days, right? They would have had to request an extension again today.
You can do it for 45 days. then.
then?
So, okay,
45
yeah,
days.
that's all I'm looking at. I'm like, ooh,
Good
wait,
point.
okay.
Good point.
This
Oh,
is why
I'll
we keep you
remember
on the
that.
payroll. Yeah.
I am earning my check today.
Boy, Bob, I think she deserves a raise. I don't know.
I'll mention that to the town manager.
All right. Would someone care to make a motion to grant a 45-day extension?
I vote that Dan, since he's a member of our board, that he should do a motion. since
I would like to
recognize
make a
his opinion.
motion for a 45-day extension on this particular variance, which is the 31 Perkins Street.
All in favor?
Second,
Oh, wait,
aye.
second. Sorry, excuse me. Second
Second.
motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so Nicole, you're going to reach out to this party, letting them know that they have 15 days to request the extension and they need to be at the next meeting. And if Bud can show up, they can.
You got it. Bud came into my office today and asked me how to show up, so we're good. He made the effort.
And not to speak out of turn here, but the only reason I'm hanging around is I don't know how to leave.
It's in the right-hand corner, the red thing that says leave.
You know what? It's gonna be down below my bar down at the bottom.
You can always unplug the computer too.
Just move your cursor down and it will populate it.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. You guys all have a great night.
Take
Good
care,
night.
buddy. All right. Now we are, everybody also got the meeting minutes
Yes.
back here. Okay, for the October 12th meeting and the November 16th.
Correct.
Anybody have any issues or
Nope.
anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the minutes of the Zoning Board of Appeals for November 16th and October 12th have been accepted as presented. I don't believe we have anything else on the agenda. Is that correct, Nicole?
That's it for me. I don't know if you guys want, have anything to ask Bob or just, I know probably not all of you have met him. I don't know that any of you have formally met him yet, but
Do we
No,
do a motion
I
to
didn't even
adjourn
know
first?
that they had hired someone. The last email I saw that. it was
Surprise.
filled. Congratulations, Bob. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Bridgewater.
Happy
Should
to
we
be
make a
here.
motion to adjourn first and then we can welcome him?
you absolutely can. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Would you someone like to second? I can't vote, Dan.
I will second. Sorry about
All in favor?
Aye.
that. Aye.
Meeting adjourned.